Hello everyone. So we have completed our two lectures, first on axial skeleton and then on appendicular skeleton. So now we are covering classification of bones. We have already done the classification that is in axial and appendicular form. This actually makes your study a bit easier to study bones whenever we are going to learn about clavicle, scapula, that is in separate bones. So it would be easier for you to understand if I say the words like flat bones, long bones, and in your colleges also professors will use these kind of terms. So you have to know, you have to memorize it. I know it's a bit tough for you, not really, because axial and appendicular we used to learn in class 12th. But as soon as we move towards other lectures, it will be a little tough for you. But trust me, when you go through it more and more times, it will be a very easy for you once it will be in your fingertips. So we have classification of bones. First, the regional classification. We have studied axial and appendicular. Next, your classification will be based on shape. It's a vast classification, but it would be easier and it has chances in many university questions. I've seen the classification based on shape question asked. Also, there would be developmental classification and structural classification. So we will study one by one about every classification. So the first classification is classification based on shape. So here it is classified into 7 types of bones. That is long bone first, short bones, flat bones, irregular bones, pneumatic bones, sesamoid bones, and accessory bones. We will learn all the examples of bones which are included here. Long bones is then another divided into typical long bones, miniature long bones, and modified long bones. Long bones basically have a head, the base of bone, and a shaft. If you look carefully at humerus or femur or tibia, fibula, or radius ulna, which we have discussed before, you will see that all these bones have a shaft kind of thing, like the base and the head. If you imagine a bone, all these covers the long bones, and then again they are divided into typical, miniature, and modified long bones. Bones include your head, base, and shaft. So the example of typical bones will be your humerus, radius, ulna, tibia, fibula, and femur. All these bones are also classified under appendicular skeleton, as we have studied in earlier lecture. Also, long bone is again divided into typical long bones, as we have studied here, also as miniature long bones. Now, what is miniature long bone? Miniature long bones are bones which have head, base, and shaft, but it is a little small in size. And अगर आप खुद इमेजिन करो तो आपके हिसाब से क्या ऐसा बोन है जिसमें जो स्मॉल साइज का होता है बट उसमें हेड, शाफ्ट और बेस भी है. So it is metacarpals and metatarsal. Miniature long bones, typical long bones, miniature long bones. Now again we have another type, that is modified long bones. Please inform me if you don't understand my handwriting. I'll try to improve it. So modified long bones is clavicle. Clavicle has many exceptions, and we will study about it in the lecture where we actually cover the clavicle. It will be a separate video on clavicle. So here we cover our long bones. Discuss about short bones. Short bones have examples like carpals and tarsals. As in short bones, they are really small in size and do not usually contain the head, base, or shaft. Now, flat bones. Flat bones are your scapula, skull, sternum, and ribs. See, scapula is a flat bone. If you see scapula, when we will study scapula in detail, you will realize that it is a flat bone. It has no, head, shaft, and it has irregular kind of shape also. Scapula, skull, Skull, as you can see the skull, we have discussed the parietal, frontal and occipital. It is also comes under flat bone. Sternum as we had seen, the breastbone also known as breastbone is flat in shape, and your ribs. All the ribs that is present is flat in shape, rather be it your typical rib or floating rib. Also, we have the fourth type, that is irregular bones. Irregular bone is your hip bone. As you can, if you see the hip bone image, when we will discuss about hip bone, you can see it is very irregular shape. It cannot be classified under any under shape. Also, we have vertebra. Vertebra also, if you see the cervical vertebra, it cannot be classified under any shape. Sphenoid bone, it is a butterfly shaped kind of bone, so it is also comes under irregular shaped bone. Pneumatic bones. Pneumatic bones are the bones which are actually hollow shape and are very lightweight and acts as air conditioner. So pneumatic bones have maxilla and ethmoid bone. Now sesamoid bones. Sesamoid bones are patella and pisiform. Now sesamoid bones are the seed-like bones. What happens is when there is two tendon or muscle, the bone which actually forms between two muscle. If you see, if there is two muscles and between there a bone is formed in a seed shape, it is known as sesamoid bone. The very good example is patella. Patella bone is present between your two muscles, that is your quadriceps femoris. We will discuss it later. In the thigh region, it is present between the thigh region and the leg region, between two muscles. Also pisiform. Pisiform is your one of the carpal bone muscles and it is formed between two muscles. Accessory bones. The bones which are not present, usually you cannot see it, but in rare cases we have seen these kind of bones. So C8, that is, normally we have only cervical, that is C7 only, but C8 can also be present. Also sutural bone or Vermonian bone, it is formed between parietal and occipital. If you see the region in your back region, you have two parietal and then occipital. And sometimes between parietal, the two parietal and occipital, one small bone can be felt, and that is known as sutural or your Vermean bone. So this is your classification based on shape. We have three kind of long bones also that we had discussed. About regional classification and classification based on shape, we have developmental classification. That is how a bone develops. Rather it is being first membrane, then forms a bone, or if it is a cartilage, then it converts into bone with growing age. We will study here. Developmental classification, membranous bone, which is skull. Membranous bone is first it is a membrane and then it forms into a bone. So here the example is skull. Skull used to be a membrane first and then bone. As we had studied about skull, according to regional classification, the skull would be from eggshells and shape flat, and on the basis of development it is a membranous. So we had learned three things about skull through our various lectures, which is regional classification. Skull would be an axial skeleton and it is a flat bone and also a membranous bone. Now again we have cartilaginous bone. That is, it is first the bone which is first a cartilage and then it converts into a bone. Example are humerus and femur. Humerus and femur first used to be a cartilage and then converts into bone. Humerus, according to regional classification, it is an appendicular skeleton. Humerus and femur and shape, they both are comes under long bone. They both are considered as long bone. And now we have membranous cartilage. Membranocartilaginous bone. That is, it is both, it can be used both as membrane or cartilage and then convert into bone. Example are your clavicle and mandible. Clavicle is an appendicular skeleton, also we have studied under pectoral girdle. And mandible is an axial skeleton, and mandible is one of the facial bones, 14 bones of our body. And shape of clavicle is modified long bone. So here we complete our developmental classification, that is of three. So here we have completed our three types of classification, that is developmental classification, classification based on shape, and regional classification. And now the fourth classification is structural classification. That is how we classify bone on the basis of their structure form. It is of two types, compact bone and spongy bone, also known as cancellous bone. Now if you see a long bone, consider this as a long bone. Here at the shaft, there is this present structure which is made up of hard kind of structure. It also constitutes of a system called Haversian canal system. It is cylindrical in shape. We will study it in further lecture. But here what is important is this part, that is the shaft part, is made up of hard structure, and therefore it is known as compact bone, which is hard, whereas spongy cancellous bone is a soft kind of structure which is present at the end of long bones. It is soft and the compact bone is hard. Compact bone is made up of yellow bone marrow, that is, its function is to store the fat, that is here, and the spongy cancellous bone has red bone marrow here, which has the function of forming RBC. Now this spongy bone is made up of rods and plates. Here it is made up of rods and plates, where here it is made up of its lamella, where it forms Haversian canal system. We will study about these Haversian canal in detail. Now this compact bone and spongy bone is a structural classification of a typical bone found in our body. Here we have completed the classification of our bone, and here is the summary or revision. Classification of bones. First we have studied about regional classification, that is axial and appendicular skeleton. Now classification based on shape, that is long bones, further divided into typical, miniature, modified. Also short bones, flat bones, scapula, skull, irregular bones, pneumatic bones, sesamoid bones, and accessory bones. Sesamoid bones are the bones formed between the two muscles, and accessory bones. Developmental classification: membranous bones, cartilaginous bones, membranocartilaginous bones. Structural classification: compact bone and spongy bone formed in the ends of the bone, and compact which is formed at the shaft of the bone. So here we have completed our lecture. Thank you so much.